Hey, what's going on, family? You back in the lab with Abrew, man. Tonight we got a sensitive topic. I know it's gonna make some people upset, and it's gonna probably rip the band-aids off some emotions. You know what I mean? However, but this topic has been coming across my desk probably for the last 2 to 3 weeks, and I'm getting video after video after video, people submitting to me about child support. So I just want to bring the question to it. Does it help the child or hurt the parents? You know, and I've been on both sides of the aisle where I paid, and then when I won custody of my kids, I didn't get a dime. So I have mixed feelings about it myself. So I'll say let's talk about it tonight. So if anybody out there wanna talk about it, you wanna jump in the chat, you wanna feel free. I answer your question live on live. I answer your question live on live right now. But yes, does child support help the child or hurt the parents? And I think it does both. I think in a sense it could help the child, but a lot of men or women out here who's on child support or paying child support don't need to be told what to do or have something coming out of their check. I think majority of the people want to do the right thing. But there's a lot of people that was tricked, a lot of people that was set up, and there's a lot of vindictive people, there's a lot of hurt people, and that go men and women because both parties are on child support. Roughly, let's see, it's about 80 to 85% of the men that's paying child support, whereas about 10 to 15% of the women, and then the other people have or just general agreements, which of course that's no statistics. So we're gonna get into this video here, man, and just answer a few questions. Does it hurt or does it help? Or what y'all think? You know what I mean? Just throw your questions in here, and we'll go from there. Let's get to it.
But my child support done really killed me, fool. And then they want y'all to believe that this shit is for the benefit of the fucking child, bro. That's a lie. Ain't no way it's the benefit of the child, man. And I pay so much money in child support till that shit hinders me where I have to be codependent. Meaning I cannot survive on my own. Like, I couldn't even afford a 1-bedroom fucking apartment right now. Bro, this shit hurts so goddamn bad. I ain't even got the mental to even be around my children. I don't give a fuck neither. I'm done caring. Cause when I care, I ain't shit. When I don't care, I ain't shit. It don't matter what the fuck I do. I ain't good enough for their ass anyway, no matter how much money they charging me, how much money I'm paying. It ain't never fucking enough. I never get the recognition that I feel like I deserve. But this shit have drained me. My soul, bro. I haven't got taxes since 2017. Child support been taking this shit too. I pay over $1,800 a month in child support. So, to my baby mamas, y'all have won the war. Y'all have won the battle. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. Y'all can have it, I guess.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of men feel like that. At one point, man, I felt like that. They was taking so much away from me to where I couldn't afford to live on my own. I couldn't afford to do certain stuff. But then when you look at your kids and they're expecting you to be Superman, to be superhero, and they still expect they take a chunk out, and then they want you to still expect you to do birthdays and Christmas. I don't celebrate none of that stuff now. I grew out of all of that, but they still want you to go half on that when you're taking 23%, you know, from a person. And when I looked at my paperwork one time, man, I was between medical and all that, I'm paying 87% of the children well-being. That was ridiculous. Medical, dental, prescription, mad money, and a check child support going out. So I could see where some men, and I can only speak from a man, but like I said, I've been on both sides. I've been on where I had to pay, and then I've been on the side where I won custody of my kids and didn't get a dime for the last probably 7 years of their lives, 6 years of their lives when they came to stay with me. And so it is, bro. That whole system is broken. It need to be reformed. It need to be torn down and replaced with something. I don't know what it is. Now you got some people out here that need to be made to take care of their kids. But majority of the people, man, they'll do the right thing. Majority of the people want to do the right thing. Majority of the people who love their kids will do the right thing. You know what I mean? Just because I might not could give it to you on Monday, and you might have to wait to Friday to try to get paid, but that might not. That's at least I'm giving it to you. That, you know what I mean? I can't give it to you here, but I'm gonna give it to you there. If they need this, I'm gonna go out there and get it to you. So I think most parents should communicate better before we go down to their court system. Because once you put the court system in it, and I'm gonna show y'all a video toward the end of this. I'm gonna show you a video, probably my last video, where the lady was telling the judge she don't want to increase child support because it's hurting her child's father, and he's a good dad. He come by and get the kids, and it's about time over money. And the judge still raised this man's child support right at $400. Talking about, well, I'm gonna do it now. So if you ever have problems, you might have a problem if you have to come back to court. She didn't even want the child. She just want the guy to spend more time, and he was getting his kid every weekend. So I think a lot of that kickback come from these court systems too. So let's get to the next one, man. Where this guy here was like, hey, if you see your dad broke, man, looking broke, it ain't that he ain't trying out here or grinding. But yeah, put your stuff in the comments, man. I see I got a few people here on live. Let's see, I got one from Twitch and one from and two from YouTube. So put it in. If you're going through child support or been through child support, put it in there. Let's talk about it. I might even send the link and let you come on the show tonight, man, because this is a sore topic where people really get upset about it, man, and it hurts. It hurts families. It hurts parents, hurt fathers, hurt mothers, hurt children. Let's get to the next one.
I know why so many dads look broke? Because the system charges fathers for the privilege of being in their kid's life. Nobody talks about that. Everyone talks about child support. Everyone talks about bills, but nobody talks about the financial war good fathers get drug into just for refusing to disappear. You think raising a kid is expensive? Try fucking fighting for one. The moment the relationship ends, a dad goes from provider to prove you deserve to be in your children's life. Every paycheck starts going to lawyers, filings, mediators, evaluations, people who don't know your kid at all, but charge you like they raised them. A lawyer retainer, $2,000, if you're lucky. Modification, another $1,000, easy. Emergency hearing, more. Evaluations, thousands. And if you can't afford it, then they call you unstable. Meanwhile, you're working overtime, selling tools, cutting back on everything, trying to survive the process while the system drains you dry. But people still ask, why don't you fight harder? Brother, I am fighting. I'm fighting with money that I don't have for a child I refuse to lose. Here's the truth. Some dads aren't broke because they're irresponsible. They're broke because they chose to stay. Some dads aren't absent because they don't care. They're absent because the system priced them out. But if that's you, if you're scraping by, doing math every night, trying to afford the next court date, and keep the lights on, you're not fucking weak. You're not failing. You're a father paying a price most people will never understand. And one day your kids will know exactly who went broke trying to keep them close. So keep going. A present father isn't priceless, even when your bank account.
I'm gonna tell you, and I stopped it right there. Yeah, man, that retainer, that filing, those, man, it costs thousands on top of thousands on top of thousands, and I didn't have it at the time. You know what I mean? I didn't have it to fight for them like that, but I couldn't give up to the point where it cost me some material things. I won't put my business out here, but I lost some things trying to fight for my kids and fight fight this child support and fight these courts. Man, that shit got so expensive to where I couldn't afford it. It tears you up. And it's like that's what the system wants. And it's a lot of dads out here, man, sleeping in their cars. A lot of moms sleeping in their vans, trying. Then, like my man said, they call you unstable. Well, you don't have a place to stay. So, why I'm gonna get the kids to you? Well, I see you working overtime, so we need to take some of that overtime. I'm working overtime or a second job trying to keep up with these court dates and lawyer payments. You know what I mean? But they look at that's extra money, so they come and get some of that, man. This stuff, this system, this whole system, man, is so terrible to where it destroy you. It destroy your soul, bro. It have you thinking crazy thoughts and want to hurt people, you know, and people don't understand that. And that's why I tell people, if you're ever in that situation, you got to go sit down and talk with somebody. Have somebody who you could talk to, man, because I've been there, bro. This thing, fighting these court cases and fighting for your children, and you ain't got the money, and the court status say, hey, you need this, and the lawyer saying you need this, or we can't go to court, and you're already $10,000-$20,000 in trying to fight. And that's a lot of money for the average guy. I don't know what everybody out here do, but $20,000 is a lot of money, man. You just sack a mortgage here, and you just sold your car here, and you're trying to hustle over here, and then they look at your bank statement and be like, oh, you got a little bit more money we can get. I'm doing that to try to keep fighting. I'm trying to fight for my babies. So I do think, man, dads out there, man, moms out there, if you're going through it, because it's women out there. Like I said, it's only about 10 to 15% of women that have to pay child support. And I've been on both sides. Like I keep saying, I've been on both sides. I've been on where I had to pay, then I won custody of my kids and didn't get a dime. Didn't get one dime from the other individual. You know what I mean? Now that they're grown, I don't even give a damn no more. It is what it is at that point. But I could have used that money at that particular time. Let's go to the next one.
The fuck I look like? If I gotta fight the government and some bitter bitch in order to see my kids, fuck them kids. Life is hard enough. Eggs is $8 in this bitch. I'm a single man. I ain't got no motherfucking helping me. It's me against the motherfucking world, literally. I ain't gonna pull the black card. But shit, a black man at that? Listen, man, there are so many battles to fight. Sometimes you gotta choose your sanity over your fucking seed. You can take that L that you fucked a nothing ass bitch. You fucked the grind at the bottom of the fucking barrel. Just accept that shit and move on. If these niggas want to double team your motherfucking ass, goddamn. I mean, the United States is probably the greatest military force the world has never known. Who's ever beat them motherfuckers? Besides the niggas.
So I have seen where mothers turn kids away against dads, and that was hard. I've seen guys break down and cry in their car on lunch break, side the road, in restaurants, and where they want to end it all. And what I mean end it all, they was willing to self-delete themselves because when they lost their babies and their kids turned away from them, they feel like they had nothing else to lose. And I've been there, be like, hey, brother, you can't, no matter what, no matter how hard it get, you cannot self-delete yourself. You cannot take yourself out because that kid gonna come around. That kid gonna eventually see who was there and who's trying, and you just gotta stay in that kid life much as you can. Call them, go to the schools, make sure you're showing up. And I understand that that's hard because when you losing, just say you're making $1,000 a week, and you losing 300 of that, not including taxes. And then after taxes come out, you bring home a little over 500, maybe 500. You might be bringing home less than that. You can't live on your own. You gotta go and get another job. So that could take you away from these kids, man. That's why I tell people, if you go and procreate with somebody, or it could be your wife or husband, try to work that out amongst you all. You don't want to put the court systems in your business, not like that. Because they ain't gonna care about neither one of you all. They ain't caring about the child, they ain't caring about the man, they ain't caring about the woman. What they do is caring about that money coming through that system. And people can sit and argue with me all they want. I've seen and talked to lawyers and heard from people who work in the local county office and state office that know what happens. So we have to start working together and get the government pretty much out of your business from that standpoint of things, you know? So work that mess out amongst yourselves. We act like we're not two civilized adults that can sit down and talk about it. Now, some people you just can't. Some people just ignorant as hell. And some people just don't care. But most men or women, most men, I'm just gonna speak from the man's standpoint. Most men want to take care of the kids. But now you got half head out there and Lil Bo Pete out there and you got a big silverback who ain't gonna do right. You gotta take them through the court system. Yeah, you got some people you got to force. But then I saw where the laws, when guys got behind and they end up losing their driver's license, I thought that was so unfair. I thought that was very unfair to lose my driver's license because I might get behind on child support or the rears. Because if I lose my driver's license, how can I get to work? How can I really take care of them? Especially if you have a driving job like a CDL or like a delivery job or just hell, you need to get to work from point A to point B. No matter what job you got. If you got to drive to get there, you can potentially lose your job because if you get caught out there and go to jail, now you've embarrassed yourself in more legal trouble that can set you and your family back even more. You know what I mean? So let's get into the next one.
You know what's really fucked up? I'm not entitled to see my children, but their mothers are entitled to my money. I think that makes sense. Like, the courts don't give a shit if I see my kids or if my kids have a loving father in their lives, but yet they want that money. The state of Maine makes money on child support. Child support is a fucking scam. They're incentivized to keep you away from your children. Point in case, I haven't seen my kids in over a decade, but yet I've been waxed for the last 15 years. It's just ridiculous, man. Anyway, to my kids, if you guys see this, I love you.
I'm gonna tell you, there's no one in hell anybody can keep me away from my kids for over a decade. No mother, no judge, no nothing. Unless I done left here. That's the bottom line. There is no way in hell, not a man, a woman on this earth that will keep me away from my children. For over a decade. You ain't finna keep me away from my child over a month. You know, not especially we're in the same state, we're in the same city. That's not gonna happen. You just better call the police every time. Because as a dad, I'm going to see mine. I'm going to see them, and I'm going to let them know their dad love them and their dad out here fighting for them every single day. But there are people who get kids and they move cross country and move to different states. I understand the dynamics of that. That can be hard, but now we're finna FaceTime. And then you better bet I'm trying to fly there, drive there, you know, every month. Or every other month, but we're finna FaceTime. I know a person personally. Their children is out of state. They hit the road every month. And I'm talking about, this ain't no 2-3 hour trip. This is a 10+ hour trip. They are rolling to see their seed. That's dedication. That's loyalty. That's love. And that's why I say, when I look at this gentleman, he said he hadn't seen his kids in over a decade. There's no way in hell that'll happen. I'm just being honest with you. We'll be filing all kind of litigation. We have to, because I couldn't go that long without seeing my babies. You know what I mean? When they was little, bro, and me and their mother used to have it out. And then she had like she didn't want to answer the phone. All right, then be like, especially after a week or two that went by, I'm knocking on the door. Call the police then if you feel I'm trespassing, but hey, I'm finna see my babies. I need to see my babies. And they'd be acting wondering, hey, daddy. Hey, I'm just being honest with you. I'm gonna see mine, regardless. You know what I mean? But I always been a pop that was there. no matter what. I've always been there and was always going to be there. They knew that. They knew it too. They called me. They'll call me in a minute. You know, this before all the Zelle and the Cash Apps and the cell phone. So pretty much I had to go through their mother at that time. But hey, man, I do what I got to do till they got bigger and they got their own cell phones and stuff. Then I had to go through that situation. But then I was getting custody of them shortly after that. So it didn't even matter. So let's go to another one, man. This right here, I want to show you. This is the one I was telling you about where the judge raised this guy child support, even though the mother said she didn't want the child support raised, because while the child support was being raised, he had to work another job, which took him away from his son. He said he'd get his son every week, but when he had to work that second job, he'd be so tired he couldn't spend the time. So the mother was like, hey, I don't even want the extra money. Let him keep it because it's more about the time than the money with us. And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. But then the judge was like, hell no, I'm going to raise it regardless. Raise it almost $400. So that lets you know this kickback in the system. Let's get to it.
Watch this.
I have bills, I gotta live, and I need to pay my own stuff. So for you to increase it like almost $400 more is a lot. It's a burden, unnecessary.
I'll pass the witness, Judge.
You may call your next witness.
I'll call the mother. Ma'am, would you please state your full name?
Martina Ogg.
Did you hear the terms of the proposed order that were stated to the court?
Yes.
Do you understand those terms?
Yes.
Are you in agreement with the terms of the order?
No.
Is there anything other than the child support that you're not in agreement with?
No.
Okay. What are you, or why are you requesting that the court order something other than the proposed child support amount?
Because he does do for his kids, and by you raising it up, he already has 2 jobs, and my focus is time spent with his children. And by you doing that, it makes it less time that he could spend with his children. He has to be at work more instead of spending time with the children. That's the focus, is father and children together, not separated, because now he has to work God knows how many hours to even pay the child support and have no time for his children. And right now he's working 2 jobs and he gets his son every weekend, but he's like worn out because he's trying to keep up with just what he's trying to keep up right now as we're, he's paying.
So you're asking that the child support remain at the current amount of $416 per month?
Yes.
I'll pass the witness, Judge. Nothing further.
Okay, then I will I will grant the order in lieu of order a child support judgment of $2,713.20. Order that judgment paid at $40 per month. Order that dad maintain private health insurance on the child through his employer. Order child support at $790 a month. Order court costs as bill. All start dates will be 12/1/25. Ms. Ogg, if you don't
Yes,
want
ma'am.
the money, if you don't need it, you can give it back to Mr. Dyer when you get it.
Yes, ma'am.
My job is to do what I feel is in the best interest of your child, not just what's in the best interest of him today, but what's in the best interest of him through today, through when he graduates from high school or turns 18. And so I am of the opinion that guideline child support should be ordered. I commend Mr. Dyer for being a good father. That's what good fathers do. They spend time with their children, but they also help them financially. And if that's going to keep him, if he's saying that he won't be able to do the extra stuff, like I said, you can give the extra money back to him so he can do those things. But I'm going to order it because everything's going fine right now. But in the future, if you came back, you might have a hard time getting it raised if you needed it raised because you didn't accept this modification.
Yes,
Okay?
ma'am.
All right. Does anyone have any questions?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I heard what you say, and they really don't. You saying, and my son is 17.
Okay.
This is my thing here. She said, I'm gonna do what's my job is to do what's in the best interest of the child. If the mother, that let me know when you go through these court systems, you don't have no rights over your children anymore. No matter what the mother said and the father said, they already had a general agreement. This judge said, my job is to do what's in the best interest of this child. They didn't need to raise the child support. Why can't the mother and father, if the child needs an extra $200-300, he could just give it. Why did the judge feel the need to say I'm going to raise it in lieu of? Because if you ever need to come back, if you ever need to raise it, at least it's already be done or whatever she said. But my thing, the child is already 17, so you ain't got but a year or so, possibly a year or less to go before child support even stop. This woman don't need it. The dad already back us against the wall working 2 jobs. So you talking about you want to do what's in the best interest of the child. No, you don't. Because the man is tired. The man working 2 jobs, she already telling you he already worn out. And he get his kid every weekend. And you're like, well, shit, I could care less about that. Let's raise this thing at least $400. So gotta be some kickbacks in this court, man. It is definitely a kickback in the court system with this child support stuff, because that didn't make a bit of sense to raise child support when neither parent wanted it, the mother or the father. But she feel like she got to do what's best for the child, and that was pretty much BS. Let's get to this last one. I think this lady said that President Trump was trying to reform child support or whatever. I'm not for sure. I hadn't looked in depth. But if he is trying to reform it, it'll be great. It's a great thing to tear this whole system down, because it is pretty much BS. And we just saw it's BS in this particular case here. If you want to go back and look up this video, I got it I think they sent it to me off of TikTok with the link. And I'm gonna put all the link in the description box so I can get the content creator their credit. And you can always click on the link and watch it again. Let's go to the last one.
Support system in our country needs reform, and it is only day 1 in office, and Donald Trump has signed an executive order called the Child Support Reform Act, in which he is making changes at a federal level to the child support system. Is this executive order perfect? No. Does it solve everything? No. But it does more to help fathers or child support payers, which are predominantly fathers, than any other federal act has done in years. Part 1 is income-based adjustment, so that child support is more closely aligned with an individual income. So those individuals that are low-income payers will suffer less of the financial burden. Part 2 will cap arrears. So those that fall behind on child support, there'll be a cap on the amount of interest that can be applied to keep them from going into insurmountable debt. Part 3 is compliance incentives. So those individuals that consistently meet their child support demands, they'll be able to apply for tax relief and benefits. The 3 previous parts of the executive order benefited the child support payers. So in a lot of cases, the fathers. But the 4th and final part benefits the acceptor or the receiver of the child support, and it is streamlined in enforcement so that it'll make it easier for those receiving child support to collect it through an automated system. In addition to this executive order, Trump is now making it so that the individual that is paying the child support is the individual that gets to claim the child on their taxes, meaning that whoever pays gets the child tax credit, which is how it should have always been. If you're paying a lot of money to the other person, why should you not reap the child tax benefits when they don't have to pay taxes on that child support? This is just a start. Because when's the last time you saw conversations happening at a federal level regarding the child support system or the child custody system? I can't remember a time it's ever happened. But this means that now there's a stage. Now there's a place that we can go and get rid of the corruption in the family court, that we can start addressing the problems within the child support system. It starts small for it to get big. And we've got a starting point now. This is a good future for a lot of dads out there and some moms.
If this happened, that is a great thing. Let me say that. It would be a great thing. I remember when I was paying child support, and I was like, well, I pay child support. You claim one of them, I'll claim the other one. At least that'll give me some relief. This individual was so corrupt to where she was letting her parents claim one of my children. She was claiming the other one. And I was getting screwed. So that's why I say this whole system is corrupt. It's terrible. If you If you ain't got to go through it, don't go through it. Try to work that mess out amongst yourselves, because you can have children by a vindictive person, man, and take you, like that song say, take you through that to try to break you. If people out here will try to take you through there and try to break you, but I made it. I'm good. Most men gonna be good, especially when they hit 18, their last check get through, and then they keep all that money to themselves, and then you start building back up. They'll be all right. But with that said, man, it's child support stuff, man. Does it help the child or hurt the parents? And I think both. Financially, it can help the child, but it destroys the parents' relationship. It destroys, because once child support come into play, ain't nothing to talk about. And then you telling me, hey, I don't want you to call me about school clothes. Don't call me about birthdays. Don't call me about holidays. Don't call me about field trips. Don't call me about nothing, because the court system has set amount of money, took a certain amount out of my paycheck to say, hey, this is the benefit this child for this month. And next month, you're going to get the exact same amount. So if you run short, you shouldn't be calling that person. I'm just being honest. And that goes for men or women. And with that said, man, I'm Abru. Until next time, man, y'all be good.